for wholesale and retail prices. Contact Shiklisho Limited at 665-3336 or 480-8715 or visit us at Warrenville, Canupia. Shiklisho Limited. Quality you can trust.
For the everyday lowest prices on all grocery items, trust Low Cost Supermarket for the widest variety of quality products at low prices. Freshly picked fruits and vegetables, healthy products for your well-being, high quality meat cuts, and a warm and friendly service. Low Cost Supermarket, Southern Main Road, Canupia.
Ronix is a German tool brand. Ronix is a German tool brand.
IBN can be viewed on the go now with the Airlink TV app for Google devices. Simply go to the Google Play Store, search for the Airlink TV app, download the app, click on the link and fill out the form. The account activation will be emailed or texted to the user. It's safe as no credit card is needed. The first 30 days are free and you can subscribe and receive a box for your TV to stream the same content.
Mitsu Air Limited, authorized Mitsubishi air conditioning dealer. No need to replace your air conditioning units ever so often. Split units, cassette, ductable, CTVIF systems, and much more. Mitsubishi Electric has long been powering industries and providing solutions for healthy living. Mitsu Air Limited boasts the industry's first 10-year warranty on all parts and labor. Inverter units are also available. Don't hear it, just feel it. Mitsu Air Limited, 246 Eastern Main Road, Barataria. Give us a call at 674-4000 or 675-4000 or email us at mitsu.limited@gmail.com.
Ronix Premium Quality.
Assalamu alaikum and good evening and welcome to Breaking Barriers here on IBN Channel 8. Of course, I'm Inshan Ishmael, your host. And, tonight is not going to be a very pleasant program, of course. And I say that without apology because, quite frankly, everyone knows and, so many people are tuned in tonight because they know what is going to happen. They know that I am about to trip, right? So before I trip, let me just again tell you assalamu alaikum and good evening and hope that you will support me in trying to reduce my blood pressure, right? So anyway, this is Breaking Barriers. It is Wednesday night. And of course, for those of you who do know, you know not to call me on Wednesday night after 8. And, I'm running out of the shot. Yes, after 8 and before 12. All right, so tonight, I know where we need to go. I know where we need to start. But what I don't want to do is take away from all the other issues. Because this program, we have always delved on topics that we see as important, topics that affects the community as a whole, no matter what community it is. We have always ponged the politicians on both sides, and we have always said to ourselves that we are not beholden to any one of them. But before we start, let's welcome our first sponsor, of course, Style Expression. And again, remember, you don't need a holiday, you don't need a special occasion to go down to Style Expression, and you can check them out right in Chaguanas. Now, what I'm going to do is that tonight, I'm going to minimize my speaking in regards to advertisers. They know that I do it every week. But I just want to concentrate more on my presentation tonight, because quite frankly, I know that many people will be taping tonight's program to sue me. So what happens is I just want to make sure that I have my P's and Q's and to notify my attorney to be on standby just in case. All right. So we all know about what took place in the last few days. But I want to leave that just a little bit later. Just a little bit later, because you know, I want to at least build up to raise my blood pressure. I just don't want to boops go into it and all of a sudden fall down. Right? So let's start and deal with issues that we have to deal with, guys. Right? Baraka Grounds Ramadan Expo and Food Fest takes place from the 25th to the 30th. Tents are already 20% booked. It's less than a week and 20% booked already. For those of you who have not, I mean, remember, this is not open to the Muslim community alone. If you have anything to sell and you want to sell it, the Muslim community getting a chance to spend their money. So all you know what I mean. All of them who have money and was piling it up for the last 2-3 years, they go in there and spend. So no matter what your business is, except if you sell pigtail, right? And alcohol, right? Those are the things that we stay clear away from. So you can contact them. Let me show you that number again, right? So you can contact my number, 6844-762, or ASIM 383-4699. And remember, it's Expo and a Food Fest, so you could book your food booth too as well. All right, so don't forget that. Let's go again, guys. Let's move. Now, I don't know how many people saw this, or how many people bypassed this, or how many people did not see this in the Express today. But Minister of Finance, Colm Member, dipped into the Heritage and Stabilization Fund on 8 occasions during the 2021 fiscal year. 8 times. Partner, that is once, more than once every month, a little more than one every month. Every month, right? So say about a month and a quarter. And when you look at how much money, we're drawing a total of 894 million US dollars. In 1 year, Colm Imbert removed $6 billion from our HSF. And many of you don't know, but the HSF is our rainy day fund. In case things start to go bad in the country, for example, in case Pfizer and all the other companies who want to do skull between Trinidad and Tobago and want we and say here what they're paying we for no vaccination, and then again, we had to pay for things ourselves. Remember, we get big money the other day. So $6 billion disappeared. $6 million out the door. $6 billion out the door. No accountability, nothing. Yeah, thank you. Right, my producer just walked in here. Very, very, very. Yeah, finally looking kind of tired. Yeah, honeymoon. Yeah, so here we go. So $6 billion. Let's go to that slide again, guys. Right? Now, what he did this because there was an amendment to the HSF Act according to the 6th report of withdrawals from the HSF for 2021 fiscal year. That amendment allows, now here what happening, your partner and them in government end up doing an amendment to benefit them. So let me show you what that amendment allows now. Let's go. That amendment allows the Minister of Finance to make withdrawals from the HSF not exceeding 1.5 billion at any time during the fiscal year. If any of these 3 conditions are met, a disaster area is declared under the Disaster Measures Act. Now, the disaster area that I think about that we haven't tried to go is Parliament. Right? Because all of them inside is a disaster. Every time Rowley talk, it is a disaster. Anytime any one of these ministers talk, it is a disaster. So that could be a reason to withdraw from the HSF. But quite frankly, speaking honestly and straightforward, I don't think that applies here because there's no disaster going on right now. There's a pandemic, unless you want to put pandemic/disaster. Let's go again. A dangerous infectious disease is declared under the public. So this is the one they're going under. But what is interesting is that they claim to have spent $6 billion, and up to now, we don't know where that money gone because a lot of the vaccines that we got were given free. So where did that money go? And up to now, you have not seen a breakdown. Maybe we might get that in year 2065. I don't know. So that is the, that is the direction that they're going. Because if we look at the other one, let's go again. There is or likely to be a precipitous decline in budgeted revenues. Now, it could be that one too as well, which are based on the production or price of crude oil or natural gas. We dead where crude oil and natural gas is concerned. We shut down Petrotrim, we shut down everything, and now oil is $100 and something a barrel. Guyana right now, boy, here what happening? People coming out of their house and swimming in money in Guyana. The Demerara full with money. And Guyana laughing at me because Trinidadians will say, ha, 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 ha. Look, Guyana bread is $10. In Trinidad, we getting kiss bread, the bread getting smaller and the loaf getting shorter now. And you paying all kind of $20-something for a loaf of that bread. Who laughing at who now? And I always say that anytime you get in an accident with a kiss bread, you're safe, because if your car does not have an airbag, you are safe with a kiss bread, because it is like an airbag in front of you. So let's go again. Temporary ban on use of hose pipes, sprinklers, pressure. This is what I tell you, and this is from, I believe, the news. This is what I tell you. We in this country so dotish. All of us, our middle name should be dotish because of what we tolerate. We're surrounded by the sea. We have beaches all over. We have rivers all over. Every time rain falls for 50 minutes, we get flooded. But we cannot use a hose. We cannot use a pressure washer for 4 months. And all your PNM supporters and UNC supporters find that that is acceptable. God bless all you. It's good for we. And I will repeat it. We too dotish in this country for what we tolerate. Let's go again, guys. 10 million for small. And according to Paula Gopi Skunks, she was the one that announced this. Let's go again, guys. 10 million for small business in the yachting industry, but firemen can't get good equipment or breathing apparatus. And the question is, why all you so dotish? Imagine for a minute the yachting industry right now functioning. Those big ships and them, the cruise ships, which could bring revenue, which could bring foreign exchange, much needed foreign exchange, we are not allowing. But somebody get through. Somebody get through because they have a small yachting business now. $10 million, the government say, here, up there, assist all you. What I got to tell all you? Firemen, all you got to breathe through old cloth and all kind of diaper and then continue to do that, boy, because this is how much the government love all you. Let's go again, guys. Prime Minister, Port of Spain revitalization project making headway. This is another shock. This is the height of madness. All you're telling me, in the middle of a pandemic, in the middle of borrowing money 8 times from the HSF, all you're still going with all your hard head to go and study Port of Spain rehabilitation for what? I passed through Port of Spain. Port of Spain is the biggest rubbish dump in the Caribbean. Port of Spain is stink. It is nasty. It is filthy. It is unkempt. I am ashamed when I pass through that place. I am ashamed to call that place my city. I believe that really and truly is not people that is being Port of Spain, Well, they are the good ones that work there and the decent ones. But I really don't believe that is human beings sometimes, I believe it's rats, because even rats have decency. Even rats have decency. The condition when I passed through Port of Spain the other day with my wife, I was shocked. I was traumatized. The place was nasty. It was smelling of urine. When you look to the left, are vagrant. When you look to the right, are vagrant. And they want to rehabilitate what? Why the hell all you don't rehabilitate all yourself? Again, next slide, guys. All pods have been sold off for the Vibes with Voicey concert, carded to start at 9 p.m. tonight. Oh, let's see that, boy. We have no problem in this country. We have no problems in this country. None. And the same idiots will go. These idiots will go. And here what happening, and I make no apologies for saying this, because I say they are idiots to do that right now, especially in a pandemic. And I don't care how they feel when I call them idiots, because that is what they are. Because when they go there, you know what they're going to do? They are going to get the virus, some of them. Bring it home to their mother and father, putting their mother and father at risk. Not only that, their children, and their children will take that virus, carry it in school, where other children will pick it up and other children will take it home, where their parents and their grandparents with comorbidities will get it and they will die. But these idiots don't see that. They don't see that. What they care about, a juke to the left and a juke to the right, and that is all they care about. Sucking rum bottle and getting on like animal. I saw a video and I was ashamed. Not even animals lack that shame. Fellas, I freight up. Yeah, all you cut out a few pieces in that video for Carnival, because some of the things that take place, I can't show it, you know. Because, Show it. No, because this is an Islamic channel. But you know what? Here what happening. Sometimes you have to show the nonsense. Show a thing. Because you know why? This all over the place. Watch this. Where's the space? No blasted shame. No shame. Watch the whole savannah pack. People in dental floss. They can't even cover their bottom. And these are parents outside there. Come back to me. I don't even want to even watch them. Because you know why? Those are parents outside there, boy. And they have children. And these people will behave like untrained animals. Jamming up on one another, whining, gyrating, performing all kind of nasty acts in front of other people. And these are people who are parents. And this is where our country wants to go, right? This is the example we set in. And that is what you call entertainment? Well, here what's happening. Stray dog and dog with mange better than some of we. This is where we're going? Is this where we are going in a pandemic? But wait, I ain't done with that, you know, because here what's happening. We're going to come back with that later. We're going to come back to that later, because I have a reason to come back with that later. Let's go again, guys. Well, let's see there. Thousands attend Iowa George. So anytime I say thousands, I ain't lie. The Guardian says so too. Let's go again, guys. We move with speed tonight, because tonight we have 10,000 things to do. Zoom in. Right? I sent this to the Prime Minister. And it's only recently we found out that Newman George came back here. So he didn't stay in Tobago. So I want to correct that one time. Good afternoon. I make no apologies for sending this video to you, as I hold you, Dr. Rowley, and your government fully responsible for the lost lives at Paria. It was the decision by you and your government to place in high positions incompetent and unqualified individuals. Imagine, well, that one is not valid because he did come back. The lives of family members will never be the same again. I hope this video and the image cause you to think hard over the decisions that you have made in the past and the consequences. May God have mercy on your soul. You have become one of the most vile and hated leaders in the Western Hemisphere. And one is that I put IORA, right? I pray to God you see these images every time you close your eyes, and I send them the images and the video with the divers. And that is the only person I really sent it to. Because you know why? That pained me, boy. That pained me because I am fed up of incompetence in government. We put the worst. License office is a mess because we put the worst. Ministry of Works is a mess because we put the worst. There's only one place I see they put somebody good, but everybody under here is a waste of time. And that is WASA. Everybody under the chairman is a waste of time. Only the chairman is a good thing there. Let's go again, guys. This You see this? I want you to leave that up for a minute, because what happens is that I want us to understand where I plan to go now. I want, I really don't want to lose. I really don't want to lose. Zakir, watch me. Come back to me, guys. Right. Watch me. You will use this number instead. What's your 650 number? All right, look today. You seen it right there? Right? You see it right? It's easy to remember. Right. Right. Okay. So, guys, what we're going to do is that we're going to start to make some sense of this whole thing. And one of the things that I saw and I was very impressed with, it was a gentleman from a former employee of Petrotrin. A gentleman who have years and years, over 2 decades of experience in Petrotrin. A gentleman, amongst others, who when you combine their experience, you're talking about over a century of experience, who wanted to come together and deal with this whole issue. Right? So I'm going to get him on the phone now. Right? I'm going to get him on the phone now. And of course, and when we pull him up, I will run through a few things. Guys, the slides that I sent to you, get that ready for me too as well, so that we can go through this and get this sorted out. All right, so. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Ramjatan.
Yes, that's correct. Ramjatan here. Good evening to you and to Trinidad and Tobago.
Mr. Ramjatan, it's a pleasure, and of course, I would like to thank you so much for taking my invitation. And I know, of course, I would have preferred to have you here, but under these circumstances, I am just as happy to have you via the telephone.
Thank you, man.
Okay, Mr. Ramjatan, give the viewing population right now a little background into who you are and how much years experience you have had.
Yes, I am Vishnu Ramjatan. I worked at, I started to work at Texaco Trinidad Inc., and then Trintoc, and then Petrotrin. I started to work in 1972, and when I retire at 2009, I retired as a superintendent. I worked as a supervisor, assistant superintendent. I also did, in my area is West area, I also did courses, and one of the courses underwater welding, being instructed by a gentleman from CDI, Chicago Bridge Institute.
Right.
Came to Trinidad, and he has trained us.
All right.
Okay.
Excellent. Now, I want you to tell me something. Since you retired and to now, have there been much changes in the way the procedures that took place recently was done between then and now? Have there been any major changes or anything that we could say was different?
A lot of changes. We have done a lot of changes, especially in the safety aspect of the job. We have done when we had to do welding online. We used to use mud pack. Right away, put a piece of plate inside the pipe mud pack, and we gone away from that, and then we went to primary and secondary seals to do welding, especially on areas that have oil and underwater.
Right. So what we're going to do now, and I hope you're in front of your television, right?
That's correct. I am in front of my television.
Right, good. So guys, let's put up the first slide. And of course, Mr. Ramjatan, you would tell us exactly here now what we are looking at. And of course, it should be on your screen by now.
Yes, it is on my screen. What we are looking at, the existing condition of the line at 3060 line from number 6 berth to number 5 berth.
Right.
And where you have the X in red, that was the leak. A leak was identified, and they had to repair that leak. To repair that leak, they have to wash the line and isolate it. You see at number 6 berth and number 5 berth, you will see blanking taking place.
Yes.
Okay, after they finish wash. And then they have to remove the concrete liner from the section where you have the leak and cold cut below the leak. The divers will go in and from the barge and cold cut that section. And when they cold cut that section, the crane will lift that section from the leak to number 6 berth. So you will have a piece of pipe removed on the next slide. Could you go on the next slide?
Sure. Next slide, guys. Next slide.
Next slide, you see the pipe removed from that section. You also see when you remove the pipe, you support the lower riser from that pipe. And you install the hyperbaric chamber. That is a chamber to do wet welding. Not wet and dry welding.
Explain for laymen like myself. Explain what a hyperbaric chamber is.
A hyperbaric chamber is a chamber sealed all the way around except the bottom. You see the bottom open to the sea.
Yes.
So that you could lower the level. You could lower the level of the water in the hyperbaric chamber to do that welding in dry condition.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay? You look at the sea level in dotted lines.
Yes, yes.
Okay? You have to, when you install the hyperbaric chamber, you have to have a compressor on the barge and supply an air compressor. You see a valve in red on top there?
Right.
That compressor will supply air to the hyperbaric chamber. But that compressor valve must be controlled to pressure control to 3 to 5 psi. Okay? And when you open that valve, the level of the water in the hyperbaric chamber will start to go down.
All
and when
right.
it reaches down just below the blue step mark inside the hyperbaric chamber, you control it with that compressor. That air supply to the hyperbaric chamber valve must be tagged off in the open position. Okay?
Right.
If you close that valve, the pressure of the whole sea underneath the hyperbaric chamber will come into the hyperbaric chamber.
Yes, it would rush in. Yes, correct.
Rushing with tremendous force. So you have to control that air supply pressure just below the step in the hyperbaric chamber.
So
when you do it, when you're locking that valve, all personnel from the hyperbaric chamber has to come out and go on top the barge. The most important valve in that system is that air control valve, that red valve to the hyperbaric chamber.
So let me ask a question. Is there any redundancy? For example, if this were to fail, is there a backup supply?
If the compressor fails, you have a reserve tank on the compressor will supply you with air with 3 psi for at least half an hour so that the compressor attendant will inform the divers through radio communication, intrinsically safe radios, so that they could come out the system.
Now, so basically these guys are in the hyperbaric chamber, is that correct?
Yeah, they could go on the hyperbaric chamber. When the level goes down, they could go and clean the internal of the pipe, and then they further have, after they clean the internal of the pipe for at least 40, they further have to drop the level on the internal of the pipe You see the level there, silt level?
Yes.
They dropping the level to that level so that you could weld on the top of that open end pipe a flange. Okay?
Okay. Take us to the next
when
step.
you to drop that level, you have to eject out the water from the hyperbaric chamber. So the level from the hyperbaric chamber, the level on the line will be that dotted line on the silt level at below the hyperbaric chamber.
Right.
And if you go across at number 5 berth, you will see a level line there, silt level line. That is the level of the water. So you have two levels there. You have sea level
and silt
and
level.
you have the water level in the pipe.
Okay.
You understand?
No, fully understand. Fully understand now, yeah.
Fully understand? Okay. Mind you, I want to re-emphasize, if you lock in the valve on top, all divers, all welders must come out the hyperbaric chamber. Okay?
Right.
So when you drop the level in the line, go to the next slide for me now.
Right. Next slide, guys.
You install what you call expansion plug. That plug the top of the line. They have a primary seal and a secondary seal to prevent any gases from the line. Remember, the line lower down have remnant oil in it.
Yes.
So that you could get gases coming out when you weld in the flange. You weld the flange, you have a gas free and weld the flange, and then remove the expansion joint. This is where they had reached in Point Paria. They removed the expansion, the expansion plug. Okay? And somebody went and interfered with that valve on top there because they say they completed it. What they completed was installation of the flange. They didn't complete the job. Okay? And this is what happened. Remember, I lower the level, the mark silt level there. It was the water level in the pipe itself. So when they closed the valve on the hyperbaric chamber, the men in them were still inside there. And that gush of water, the whole of the Gulf Sea, come up on that hyperbaric chamber, and none of them could withstand it. Remember, that water has to go up the hyperbaric chamber with a force and come down that pipe. And that pipe, they clean it, let me say 15 feet. It will be 15 feet at the next 15 feet at number 5 berth to make the water level in equilibrium. So at least 50 feet, them fellas facing the Gulf of Paria Ocean come down with tremendous force so that nobody could withstand that if they are within the hyperbaric chamber. And this is where they have reached.
Now, there were people saying that there was knocking and there was ponging. Based on what you have just told us here now, it seems that may not have been possible, because the fact is that seeing that these people are in the hyperbaric chamber still, and as you're saying, the position where they have reached, that valve was apparently, if it was locked off, and all that water rush up into the hyperbaric chamber, the chances of survival are basically nil.
Very, very nil. The chances of survival is nil. You can't even hear any knocking because the pipe is 3 inches externally coated with concrete. So where you're hearing knocking, nobody could hear that. I can't believe people hear knocking.
I mean, so what you have just revealed to us is basically that was almost instantaneous.
Instantaneous to go out with, that is really nearly 1,200 pounds of force pressure per square inch coming down and going down inside that 50-inch pipe. to meet, let me say, 15 and 15, 50 feet to bring in equilibrium the level of water. And that is they call it the delta P effect.
Now, I want to ask you a question now. There is line communication, meaning that those guys down there, they have the ability to communicate with those above, correct?
Yeah.
Right. Now, what we were being told as well is that they were mentioning that they were nearly completed and this and that, and somebody probably thought, and like I said, this is just hearsay, probably thought that they done, and he decided, well, here up, they finished, by time to wrap up the valve. Is there a process? Guide me through the process, because I don't think that somebody could just go just one and just turn on a valve and say, well, boy, is the pipe open back. Is that correct, or is there a procedure that is followed and must be followed to the T?
There is a job safety analysis or job hazard analysis that must be done, must be communicated to each individual in the ship, and must be told of the importance of that valve. And the only person to give instruction to close that valve is the supervisor, the maintenance, the marine manager, or the contractor supervisor. But the contractor supervisor must get that from the Petrotrain official in charge of the job.
Mr. Ramjatan, seeing that, you are a man that, have had so much experience in this, and of course, you are wrong when the incident, I think, had taken place in 1985, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on this whole incident?
My thoughts in this incident, the safety aspect of the job was compromised and needs to be rectified by the personnel. And I am fully distraught by the idea somebody going and close that valve without the permission of with the company official. I don't know who tell them to close off the valve, and that is the only reason you could get the tsunami type effect if you close that valve and with the line, the internal of the line, which is 50 feet, 15 and 15, 50 feet down, to get that effect and drag all of them in it.
Now, what I noticed, because you said that the area has to be isolated, etc., and because you're dealing with a flame, you have to make sure that the area is well cleaned off and etc. But I mean, most of us would have seen the pictures with the bodies, and the fact is that is something I will not show or spread. There's a heavy amount of oil residue on them. The backwash that was created, as you said before, would have been with water, correct?
Water, yes.
So where would that heavy oil residue come from?
When the ship pump oil, it pump oil from number 6 berth, goes to number 5 berth, goes to Pylebent 80, goes to foreshore tank farm. That leg at number 5 and 6 berth is under the seabed, okay? Under the water at seabed. And that line, crude line, does not empty to that extent. Okay. That is why they put the expansion plug to do the welding, and from the expansion plug, they diverted to top the barge where a safety officer has to monitor the effluent at that point, and if it's too high, you stop the work until the effluent come out. Because when you're welding the flange and you're heating it, you tend to get effluent, and that expansion plug supposed to seal everything coming up to that. So that's why you clean the internal of that pipe at least 3 feet where the expansion plug is.
Mr. Ramjatan, is there anything that you would like to add, sir?
Yeah, I find when when the divers and when that tsunami type vortex happens and goes down, one person was saved. Okay? And the four of them went in the line. I find every effort should be taken to retrieve those bodies at that time. And the person who gave the decision not to go back, I believe he made a bad decision. And according to the international divers, a diver will have enough time to go down, go across 60 feet, go across and retrieve the body. But you must have standby divers, at least 4 divers for 4 men. When one diver dives down 60 feet and go and bring up that same diver cannot go down again. You must have a next diver.
Okay.
Because that diver might get, how you call it, the bend sickness. You understand? Decompression sickness. If he stay too long, you have to put him in a decompression chamber.
Right.
But the compression chamber at 60 feet requires that to stay down in the line at least 57 minutes. But the man who going down with the tank will, a scuba tank will just give you 50 minutes of usage. According to how you breathe, if you breathe hard, it will finish early. But if you breathe normal, it will last longer. So in 50 minutes time, a man to traverse that distance and bring 120 feet and come back, you could more than make it. So if they say they have at least 4 standby divers, the decision should be made to send them down and retrieve the body at the same time. And that decision didn't make. That critical decision. But people panic, and the man, the contractor, supervisor, manager, his son was inside there. And he was, I believe he was begging for divers to go down there.
Mr. Ramjatan, I would like to thank you so much for, bringing some clarity to this whole thing, because you have indeed given me some information that, has brought a different light to this whole thing. And of course, we'd like to thank you so much. And I just want to tell you that people like yourself, your wealth of knowledge, we the people of Trinidad and Tobago, especially in times like these, we tend to take the people who have this knowledge and the experience and push them aside. And these young hotshots that come up feel that they know it all. And unfortunately, was it you who were there sitting with a hard hat by chance?
Yes. On Sunday?
Yes, I saw, and I was told.
I spoke to you about Barak.
Yes, I remember that. I remember being told, someone whispering in my ear, that man there sit down waiting, getting us waiting to get a signal to go in.
Yeah, apparently people begged Kazim, the man in charge of Land and Marine, to allow me to go in to convince them to send down the diver. But the management say no, because Kazim is on that strainer, man. His son down there. And he had to convince Petrotrin, and I, with my knowledge, could have convinced them.
Mr. Ramjatan, thank you so much, sir, and all the best to you and your family. And of course, we wish you all the best, my friend.
Could you do something for me?
Sure.
What I say, could that tape send to Stephen Reyes so that he will understand too?
100%. Consider that done.
Okay, because they were making. I saw him this morning trying to figure it out, and this drawing will be able to tell him.
Excellent.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Yes, Stephen is a good friend of mine.
For your understanding, and thanks for your kind request to have me in the show.
Thank you so much,
okay?
sir, and all the best to you and your family, Mr. Ramjatan. And
all the best.
There you had it. One of the things that I thought, and if you could pull up that first drawing, I seriously thought that line on the bottom there, I thought that was on the silt. I didn't know that was 20 foot under the silt level, because You know, you were hearing talk, well, why we don't cut the pipe in the center? But really and truly, you have to remove 20 feet of silt. But then again, the question is, could the 20 feet of silt be removed within a short period of time? Because I think, hear what this thing raising so much questions, but Mr. Ramjatan, basically what he said there makes so much sense. Because the fact is that, remember, in this hyperbaric chamber, if you do not have compressed air, what is going to take the place of the compressed air? Not water? Water or oil, as the case may be. And because they are 60 feet under, the pressure of that water coming up, that is a story by itself. We need to take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue right here on Breaking Barriers. We'll be back. Why?
Premium quality.
Sultan Drinks introduces a unique drink made from vitalizing green tea, enriched with a millennia-old secret of black seed, powerful ginseng, complemented with the best honey and amazing taste of jasmine. Taste a new experience. Taste Sultan Iced Tea. You know what you drink.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high-quality bromate-free, all-purpose and whole wheat flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisho Limited at 665-3336 or 480-8715 or visit us at Warrenville, Canupia. Shiklisho Limited. Quality you can trust.
Ronix is a German tool brand. Ronix is a German tool brand.
At Extra Foods, we care for you. That's why we always have the widest variety, the best prices, spacious aisles of total convenience, plus clean, safe surroundings. Let us care for you. Extra Foods, always extra for less.
From natural mineral water, freshness of lemon and mint, power of ginger and ginseng, vitality of honey and royal jelly. The millennia-old secret of black seed. Taste Sultan Power Drink now. You know what you drink.
Mitsu Air Limited, authorized Mitsubishi air conditioning dealer. No need to replace your air conditioning units ever so often. Split units, cassette, ductable, CTVIF systems and much more. Mitsubishi Electric has long been powering industries and providing solutions for healthy living. Mitsu Air Limited boasts the industry's first 10-year warranty on all parts and labor. Inverter units are also available. Don't hear it, just feel it. Mitsu Air Limited, 246 Eastern Main Road, Barataria. Give us a call at 674-4000 or 675-4000 or email us at mitsu.limited@gmail.com.
Right. Now, what happens is that somebody asked a very good question, and of course, I didn't get a chance to ask Mr. Ramjatan that question. So what I will do, seeing that I myself need some clarification, what I will do, I will just call him from my cell here, and I will ask him that question, because really and truly, that is how we operate here. So I could ask him that question. How, Mr. Ramjatan?
Oh, yes.
What happens is that I'm still live on air, but what happens is that someone asked a question and I just got hold of it. The person was asking, seeing that being the situation, how could one person have survived that then? Is it that they were out of the hyperbaric chamber but within close proximity?
They were out of the hyperbaric chamber, and the chest probably hit against the hyperbaric chamber. And when he was going to fall, some diver come and rescue him. But if he had only get a chance to come up, you have to enter the hyperbaric chamber from underneath.
Yes.
Okay, from underneath. And if you were underneath or on top, the force around it. Remember, they say the whole structure was shaking.
Shaking. Yes, correct.
So for he to come back to be alive, he had to be outside the hyperbaric chamber at the time.
And he had to be a praying man too as well.
Well, everything you do these days, you have to pray.
That's correct. That's correct. Thank you so
much. Even your own house, bandit will come, and you have to pray.
And that is so factual. What happened is that is so factual. Thank you again, Mr. Ramjatan.
But
Greatly.
one thing to tell you, the silt in that. If you had to cut the line, you had to desilt, and to desilt a section of that line will take 2 weeks, because every time you move the mud 20 feet away, next morning you come back, it will come back to 20. It will come back there, and then you have to bust concrete, and then you have to cold cut. So that is nearly 3 weeks of work. So it was infeasible to cut the line and retrieve the divers.
It's similar to going to the beach and sitting down in the sand where the wave break and you dig in a hole, and every time you dig the hole, as soon as you turn your back, it covered up, correct?
That's correct.
All right, great. Thank you so much again, Mr. Ramjatan.
If anybody have question, you could easily ring me.
Thank you so much. All the best.
No,
Take care.
Thank you.
See, this is the people that we have discarded, and boy, I am so grateful to these men. And one of the persons that I turned to in education as well as my brother, and he's like 80 something years, and he's one of the best educators that passed through this country. But his wealth of knowledge is unprecedented. Right? So let's go again. Let's go to the slides, guys. Let's run through on. Right? Of course, on behalf of all of us, condolences to the family of Kazim Ali, Yusuf Henry, Faisal Qurban, and anybody. Up until my program, I didn't hear anything about the retrieval of Rishi Nagasa. What we're doing is hoping and praying for them to recover the body of Rishi Nagasa. And if that was done, and if I didn't catch it, if someone could just WhatsApp me, please. Let's go again, guys. On Friday, 25th, shortly after 2:30 p.m., Christopher Budram, Kazim Ali, Yusuf Henry, Rishi Nagasa, and Faisal Qurban were working on a 36-inch underwater crude oil pipeline in Pointe-à-Pied when there was a sudden inrush of water. All 5 men were sucked into the pipeline. Well, you understand, it's a whole different complex situation now, right? But Michael claimed it was only when he became aware of what had happened and went to the scene that any effort was made to rescue the divers. He explained, my brother called me an hour after the incident and told me that everyone was shaking on the barge and nobody knew what to do. I gathered 2 of my divers and we came to the rescue. He said he saw Budram holding on to the pipe for life. That was the one who was outside, right? And was able to rescue him. Budram survived and told Michael his father was nearby, but they were unable to find and rescue him. Michael said rescue divers were only able to save Budram because he defied Paria officials who told him not to dive into the water. If Ramutane had decided that Paria officials, they need to listen, what would have happened to Budram now? What would have happened to him? Christopher Budram. And all of a sudden, Christopher Budram tests positive for COVID. Christopher Budram made contact with a positive kingfish, right? Down in the ocean floor. What happened is that apparently a fisherman, and this is the story, apparently a fisherman who was COVID positive caught a fish. And what happened is that while he was taking out the hook, he caught on the fish. And the fish broke free, went back into the sea. 2-3 days after, the fish started to get symptoms of COVID. And that was the same fish that Christopher Budram made contact with. Now, if all you believe that story, all you will believe anything. Because here what happened, this is to tell you how stupid this whole thing sounds. Because when it comes to the gas and oil industry, there is no other industry on earth that takes as much precautions as the oil and gas industry. When it comes to safety, when it comes to health, They take everything to the hilt. So I don't believe that cock and bull story that Mr. Budram had COVID. That's number one. Number two, we were told that a private test done showed that he was COVID negative. So all of a sudden, positive COVID, so everybody could keep away. So Mr. Budram would not be able to talk and tell everybody the truth. Right? But let me go again. Let's go again. Right? Michael said rescue divers were only able to save Budram because he defied the Paria officials who told him, right? He told my men not to dive the pipeline again. They brought the professional dive boat Subsea Global to use the commercial equipment for the rescue, which was the right thing to do, but was hours after, and we still had time to save them. Right? Now, as I said before, we don't decide what and what and what, but at the end of the day, the Coast Guard showed up, but they showed up without the necessary equipment. And we were told, and this is the allegation, that Coast Guard officials tell them they're here happening. We do deep sea diving and things, but you see that specialty, we ain't involved in that. So the Coast Guard basically tell them here happening. That kind of thing, we don't do them kind of thing. Let's go again, guys. Ramuta said it was because of Kurban that he managed to bring Budram to safety. The toxic fumes from the pipeline have affected Budram's lungs, and doctors have told the family this may affect him in years to come. Trinidad doctors don't even know what's happening the next day. You think they're going to know what's happening in the next few years? Many of those doctors. Many of them, not all of them, because we have good doctors in the country. Right? Don't be surprised that he lived longer than everybody else in the family, because his Trinidad doctors telling him that. Larry said after his brother was pulled out of the pipeline, no other diver was sent in to rescue the other men. The Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard divers did not have their diving gear. Which Coast Guard on the planet Earth? Where are they working, boy? And they're working in the sea. So let me ask a question. If a boat pull up, right, and the boat, suspicious looking characters, if you have to take, because sometimes they put drugs on the outside of the boat, tie it to the bottom of the boat and all that, how you get in to see the bottom of that? Because that is what they just do. They just take thing and tie it, and them going down the road, and here happening, you look in your search, the whole boat, you find nothing. And under the boat, it have a acre of ganja. Don't be surprised, they may know that, you know. Let me go again, guys. Now, the rescue mission was aborted, although the men were still stuck in the pipeline. Well, in the hyperbaric chamber area. Now, the fact is that only God could decide who live and who die. And I have always said, when it comes to these situations, if time permitted, who knows? But like I said, I don't decide on that. The boss is the one. Let's go again, guys. Well, first off, Christopher Budram lived because, of course, God made that possible. He was the last man to be pulled in the darkness of the undersea, right, pipeline. And also because rescuers disregarding orders from officials to stay away from the site. What Budram endured and what he heard before he made it out 3 hours later, his family fears for his sanity. Budram spent hours dragging himself along inside the crude oil. So you're seeing something, you know, with the hyperbaric chamber. It means that basically he had to crawl through a pipe. Right? So let's go again, guys. From his hospital bed, Budram told relatives as they tried to stay alive in the toxic air pockets at the top of the flooded pipeline. He called on the others to pray to God. Right? The last thing he heard before he got out were their screams. Let's go again. Imagine the last thing you could hear. I don't know anybody. I really don't know. And the question is, when Budram came out, they seized, according to eyewitnesses' reports, there was a snorkel or a mask or oxygen tank and a GoPro camera. Where is the GoPro camera? That is the allegation, that there was a GoPro camera. Where is the GoPro camera? What footage does the GoPro camera contain? And I believe that the police service, oh God, why are you calling on me? I believe international investigators should demand that this footage be retrieved and the GoPro retrieved. And also check to see if any footage was deleted, because you could, forensic investigators could check that, because there are people who deal with the science of forensics, the forensics of these SD cards and chips and hard drives and things. So therefore they would be able to tell you if something was removed or not, etc. and maybe even try to retrieve it. Let's go again, guys. Who is Paria? Right? If you go on Google, you will see Paria Fuel Trading Company Limited is located in Port of Spain, Trinidad, and is part of the petroleum and coal products manufacturing industry. Paria Fuel Trading Company Limited has 15 total employees across all of its locations and generates 1.81 million in sales. US. This is what? This is a joke. That is probably one of the company. I hope the other is making some money, because what is that here happening? They real pipe and breads. Let's go again. You know what is interesting, right? Zoom into what I said. Zoom into what I said. Right. This is what I post up. Time to make the telephone numbers of all the Paria board members public. We need to WhatsApp them and let them know how we are hurting. Where in this am I intimidating anybody? Kayama, am I intimidating anybody? Absolutely not. This look like an intimidation, but of course you have Bucky, right? Bucky, right? Bucky come out and Bucky saying this is an act of intimidation, right? Bucky come out and talking about that is an act of intimidation. Anyway, I leave that right here. Oh, I now remember. Just remembered. My daughter have an appointment with the orthodontist. You know, because what happens is that, you know, it have some people who teeth. When you look at it, you know, it is be more horizontal than vertical, right? All you know what I'm talking about, right? Right? So what is that I could make recommendations accordingly now. I could make recommendations, you know. Some of these said people, you know, they have government contracts and state paying them to talk. What I tell you? What I tell you? I don't take them on. You don't take them on, boy, because here what's happening. I always say, when you look at your life and you have happiness, you have children, you have wife, you have family, what them have, boy? Some of them who just talk, what they have, some of them can't even look at themselves in the mirror properly without getting frightened. But we can leave that right here. That is what it have ready mix for. Right? Let's go again. Zoom in. The day after, right? This whole thing happened about a day or two after. Dr. Rowley posted about the death of spinner Sonny Ramdin, right? I think it was about two to 3 days after. The last time he posted was before, could we go up the page? Before that, he posted 5 days before that. So during this whole period, at no time did this Prime Minister say anything. Not one word. Where the hell he was. You understand? Well, I'm going to tell you. That is the love, and that is all a Prime Minister of your country. Waste of time. Let's go again, guys. On the 3 bodies, COVID tests were done, and all returned negative. Even though all of them were always together, one of them had gotten, the only one that lived, all of a sudden get COVID. The rest of the bodies showed a negative COVID test result. I am pleading to the family, do not take those autopsies for granted, because at the end of the day, I have seen it enough times to know that we have seen autopsies come out inconclusive, and when we pay for autopsies, private autopsies, it gives you the real story. So I'm pleading with the families, if the autopsies that were done does not make sense, please pay for a private autopsy. And if you cannot afford to pay, I will get the people of Trinidad and Tobago to help you, and I will assist as well. I've done it in the past, we did it recently, and we will do it again. Let's go again, guys. You know, this is the frustration of a citizen. Good morning, Mr. Ishmael. I'm a law-abiding citizen, and my heart goes out to those families who lost their loved ones. In your opinion, what can be done to send a message to the government that what they are doing is not enough? I'm a business owner as well, and at this point, I feel as though I can shut down my business, get down on my knees and just cry. It really hurts. Can we just call for a day of prayer and just shut down everything? Let me tell you something. That is what's going on in my head right now. That is exactly what's going on in my head. To put this thing together and say, here, let me shut down for a day, and who want to go and kakale and wine, let them do it. Let's go again, please. Right. No. You know which one I want? I want the video with the officer. I want the officer. Yeah. Could I get that video, please? I think we are supposed to have two, correct? Zoom in. Right. I was hoping we would have got that.
Any legal right to enter or remain upon any land or premise.
More than 10 persons there.
Just so, yes, but we're going to move. A trade dispute, to give you the definition on this, Chapter 8803, means any dispute or difference between employer and workmen, or between workmen and workmen, connected with the employment or non-employment, or the terms of the employment, or with the conditions of labor of any person.
I have a brother died from COVID.
No, but we are allowed to be in groups of 10, so 10 of us will be around you.
All right, well, I'll accept our sympathy for that.
Your name, sir? Your name?
All right.
Your name, please, sir?
So, under this law, we are engaged in a peaceful picket.
ASP what?
So there's a trade dispute here.
That is ACP Bertie. Richard Bertie. And only hear how I asked, that is the man, look him there. And this man, I think, have 3 children. Right? This man here, skin in his teeth. Right? But you see, I don't highlight these fellas until they behave like idiots. And I want you to play back that video and you will hear me. Hear what happening there? Myself, Roger, and Abdullah. Right? We right there. The rest of the people around us. He have a problem with me alone. He have a problem with nobody else, you know. He have a problem with the cameraman. My partner spin around with the half-ball itself and have a problem with me. As soon as I reached there, certain officers had a problem with me. And I don't know if Ernie and Bertie was one of them. You understand? I don't know. So here what happened now, Mr. Bertie. I don't know what problems you had that day. I don't care about your personal problems. But let me tell you something, Papi. I have dealt with enough stupid police in my life to know that I am not going to sit down and have a police officer treating me like I was a dog. How many times did I ask, can I ask, what is your name, sir? But that is not me. I don't normally, hey, where's your name, boy? That is how I just go. But I decided here happening to be gentle and kind. What is your name, sir? Where's your name, sir? If you ask anybody, that was me, you say, I'm mad or that, something like in Chan, boy. Play back that clip. And all look here where he talking about what? We too close. Look who talking about people too close. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. The same set of people that allow 5,000 people to be jamming like pothong in the savannah. The same set of people all over this country had breaches, and the same set of people telling me that 20 people gathered together is a breach. Well, boy, if I never hear about blasted hypocrisy, that is hypocrisy. Play back that clip again.
As conferring any legal right to enter or remain upon any land or premise.
More than 10 persons there.
Just so, yes, but we're going to move. A trade dispute, to give you the definition on this, chapter 8803, means any dispute or difference between employer and...
And you see, that is the next thing. If you go all over the world and you discussing something, an officer will tell you, yes, according to section so, this section, blah, blah, blah. Trinidad police, watch what they had to do. Watch where he hand is. Your partner had to go through the laws, watch with his fingers. Take a look. Take a look. Right? Imagine Abdullah and them discussing the laws. And
with
he
the
have to
employment
run 3,
or
4.
non-employment, or the terms of the employment, or with the conditions of labor of any person. He had a brother that died from COVID. Big man,
No, but we are allowed to be...
I sympathize with you, my condolences to you. But how the hell could I give you COVID from standing up from the back of your head? Your nostril at the back of your head? I am the back of the man. I am in the back of you. What happened to you, Bertie? Something wrong? I am to the back of you, Assistant Commissioner of Police. How the hell can you get COVID? You just breathe through the front, your nose is in the front. You did not use the mask and cover the back of your head. If that was the case, I wouldn't have come in the back of you. But if you look at the beginning of that video, play back that again, because I tell you, I stopped tolerating dotishness. Let's go again. Watch how many people there by Bertie. And everybody distant, and there's only 3 of us there by. But he have a problem. And this is the stupidity of some of the police in this country. Right? And this man is a pastor who is supposed to be, as far as I was told, who is supposed to have some level of understanding, some level of compassion, some degree of caring by somebody. People just lost 4 of their family members, and you come down there to get on like a baby. You come down there to get on like a yayan. You come down there telling people that if they pick up a placard, you will arrest them. Imagine that. But you can't go down Port of Spain. You and your partners and them can't go down Port of Spain and arrest nobody. You can't go in 5 Island and play giving anybody any charge. Or you can't go in ticket because you know why? Because the NCC approved this thing for the government and their party officials. What took place all over Trinidad and Tobago was celebration time for PNM supporters, you know. If you ask 99% of the people who went to Carnival, what party they supported? PNM. Ask them. Ask them if you feel I lie. So basically, the PNM facilitated a party for their supporters. And you think they're going to tell the police to interfere with that? You think Jacob going to interfere with that? Could I get a slide with Jacob? Jacob said he was disturbed. Why it is that man looking so much like Stephen Williams now, boy? That gave me real upset, you know. Anyway, Jacob disgusted with 14-second video showing divers. Jacob didn't get disgusted, guys. All you know which video I tell her to get, right? Jacob didn't get disgusted with this. Jacob, when children were being tear-gassed in Port of Spain and women were bawling and screaming, Jacob wasn't concerned and disgusted with that. Where citizens of this country were standing up for their rights and was tear-gassed like animals. Watch. Jacob didn't have a problem with that. He wasn't disgusted. But he was disgusted. He was disgusted with the 14-second video. Now, I agree. You see that video? It should not have gone out. Those pictures should not have gone out. But things to be disgusted in this country for. The police don't be disgusted. Look, today, a father and a son kidnapped and murdered. All you know about that? Yeah. From Dow Village. But everybody relaxing because you know why? We are accustomed. There is nothing new. What going on? Tell me something new now, man. There is nothing new. Look at what is taking place. After 4 days, bodies were sent out. And if you see those pictures, you will not get them out of your head. I cannot get those pictures out of my head. It should not have happened. And I said it at the beginning of the program, and I will repeat it. The government of Trinidad and Tobago, the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago is culpable. The Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago is the one that puts people on state boards in many cases who are not qualified. Who have no idea in many cases about what the hell they're doing. The Prime Minister of this country is the one who gives a yes or no to many of the people on these state boards. Who put George there? Who put Colin there? Who put all these other fellas there, the maths teacher, all of them? Who put them there? Not Santa Claus. And all you're telling me that I mustn't be vexed? I have to be vexed. You know, when you look at some of these videos, guys, could you play one of the videos with the young lady who lost 2 brothers? She lost 2 brothers, and now she lost a 3rd brother. Now, Yusuf, go ahead.
Sorry, you know, because of the fact that if she hurt, she could vent out she wants, you know. That's why I like the American law, you know. That's what I want, you know.
When she vented, you should have break. You should have break too.
Come back to me. Come back to me. Wait, come. I just want to show her something. As soon as she started to raise her voice, police jump up and she won them. And when they realized myself and others were wrong recording, all of a sudden, don't worry, girl, everything will be okay. Everything will be nice. Don't worry yourself. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, they go on there and they were telling her that she cannot carry on. So this woman is in grief. This woman is in grief. She lost 2 brothers. One from cancer and another one, I'm trying to remember COVID. I think it's COVID. Right? 2 brothers she lost. And she just lost a 3rd. And you telling her how to behave? How to compose herself? No, that ain't going to work. Let the woman grieve. Let her bawl. Let her scream. Because it have people bawling like animal. And tonight it have the whole set of hog pen full. They're full. They're full to capacity with people bawling, screaming, jamming, and no police there. And the police who they're watching, they got approval to leave everybody and do not touch anyone. And this is how dangerous this country is going down right now. This is a road that is so dangerous right now. It is a road where people who support the government could be untouched. You could break COVID rules and do what the hell you want. And the government and the police service and the ministries and everybody who there do not dare touch you because you are supported by the Gestapo. You are supported by the people who are in charge. You are supported by Hitler and crew. But God help you if you oppose them. God help you if you talk out against it. God help you if you decide to raise a finger, if you decide to say, that is wrong, because they will come after you. And do what? And do what? Exactly. This is where we are going. We had 4 people missing in our pipeline, and you telling me that we are so sick as a society that people will still go and fat boy? That we care so much about the people in our country that we could go and whine to the left and not even bother about thinking about those people? You telling me that people sat down in their homes in Pointe-a-Pierre, in Marabella, in San Fernando, and did not even move, and did not even leave the comfort of their homes, which was just and less a mile away, and in some cases a few hundred meters, to just give some comfort to these families. You telling me that it was so hard for all the pundits, all the priests, all the imams to leave the comfort of their temples, their churches and their masjids and come down there and say, here we are with you. But then, these are the same people who will sit down and they will tell you we must love humanity, we must care for humanity, we must treat humanity like if, at the end of the day, like how God taught us how to treat them. But yet it is, most of you sat down in your homes and did absolutely nothing, not a call, not a visit, and then you are coming to preach to me and tell me how we must behave as human beings, about how we must care. No, that is hypocrisy. That is hypocrisy. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me what to do when you yourself not doing it. What sense does it make that we criticize these leaders when we have our own religious leaders failing to do what they're supposed to do in a time like this? It does not matter if the divers were Hindu. It does not matter if they were Christian. It does not matter if they were Baha'i. It does not matter if they were Muslim. It does not matter if they were atheists. It does not matter. Once they were human, and once they are human, there is supposed to be something called human compassion kicking in. But I guess it would have been different if some of the family members required a halal certificate. It would have been different. It would have involved money, and it would have involved time. But speed, because you have to go and deal with that. You have to. How could you not deal with that? And I make no apologies, because I keep telling people, I am not a scholar, I am not a Maulana, I am not a Hafiz. I studied my religion for 15 years under some of the most skilled people in this country. But one of the things that they taught me is compassion. One of the things that I learned from the people who trained me in my religion was to care about humanity, and that there must be a balance. It did not teach me that you're going to be a Muslim and butt your head 5 times a day and you must have your children starving. Like what is happening right now. We have so many young men who know the religion and could prattle, but they cannot feed their families because that is what they are teaching them. God go provide. God go provide. Yes, God will provide while you sit on your tail and do nothing. This is where we have reached. We have reached a society where people just don't care. How could a country still run? How could a country still function? How could a country still operate? How could people still pass by that roundabout and ignore what is taking place there? Something is wrong with us. We are a sick society. We are sick. Something is wrong. No normal human being, no normal human being will watch another person cry, plead, suffer, and ignore that, and call themselves a person of God. No normal person. None. I am ashamed. I am ashamed to see where we have come in this country. I was telling my wife 1 week ago that if I didn't have this TV station, if I did not have this TV station, I would sell out everything and I gone. Because let me tell you something. What sense does it make killing yourself for a country where half the people don't give a damn about what is taking place? Where they don't care if they live in a cesspool. Once they could whine to the left, they're happy. And that is a fact. That is a fact. We keep voting back for the same yaya and them again and again and again. The same stupidness happening again. And what do? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. We relax and we take it. Imagine I can't go and use a hose, boy. And every time rainfall is flood. We that stupid? $10 million for the yacht business, for small business, But you telling me every road have pothole and these people are mentally sane people who run in this country? 8 times we borrow from the HSF and God knows where the hell the money gone. But we ain't care. But yet it is, we'll go on the radio station, boy, so-and-so is at this and that, and boy, we need to shut down, and boy, we need to do this and that. Why don't we just start doing what we say? Why don't we as a people demand better? Why don't we come together? I've never ever supported violence. I will never support violence. I always believe in democracy. And I always said that one of the things that we could do is come together and shut down together. Because when you shut down together, you bring everything to a stop. And here what happening, if the government listen, here what happening, something wrong because their revenue is also stopping. So they will have a problem with that. But you know, we under the PNM government, and the PNM government quick to label you a terrorist. They quick to label you this. But you know the good thing about it, my attorneys provide me free service, so I don't worry about that. And I am target number 1 because as soon as I reach down point up here, ping, ling, 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 in Shan, here what happen? They're waiting for you to make one mistake that to take you down, eh? And I say, but what the hell, I ain't do nothing. And these idiots afraid me so much, right? They afraid me so much. What I do? Anyway, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue right here on Breaking Barriers. We'll be back.
Premium quality.
Things come and go, but only a few stay forever and become part of us. Sultan Cola. Original drink made of black seed with mineral water, natural flavors, and amazing taste. Refresh yourself with Sultan Cola. You know what you drink.
For the everyday lowest prices on all grocery items, trust Low Cost Supermarket for the widest variety of quality products at low prices. Freshly picked fruits and vegetables, healthy products for your well-being, high quality meat cuts, and a warm and friendly service. Low Cost Supermarket, Southern Main Road, Cunupia.
IBN can be viewed on the go now with the Airlink TV app for Google devices. Simply go to the Google Play Store, search for the Airlink TV app. Download the app, click on the link and fill out the form. The account activation will be emailed or texted to the user. It's safe as no credit card is needed. The first 30 days are free and you can subscribe and receive a box for your TV to stream the same content.
Premium quality.
Sultan Drinks introduces a unique drink made from vitalizing green tea, enriched with a millennia-old secret of black seed, powerful ginseng, complemented with the best honey and amazing taste of jasmine. Taste new experience. Taste Sultan iced tea. You know what you drink.
Ronix is a German tool brand. Ronix is a German tool brand.
Well, here what, man. I would like to play a little clip with Roger talking to the same man they call Richard Bertie, right? Richard Bertie. And somebody confirm to me, please, if the man is a pastor, please. Because, you know, like I say, everybody have a hard day. And I don't know if the man had a hard day and come down there, maybe it is somebody getting vexed. Because he look like a dotish person. You know, you can look at somebody and say the real looking dotish, but he look like that type of person. He look like a family man. He look like a caring man. I don't know if something get him vexed that day and he come down there and just decide to behave dotish. Because it has have people who have temporary dotish behavior, you know. Watch every time you only have a press conference. That has always happened. You understand? The dotish behavior is kicking. And watch every time Terry open his mouth. Dotish behavior. Let's go, let's go to that clip, guys.
Persuade any person to work or stay from work.
Right. Public march, any march or procession, which is we want to do, we know that, right? In a public place comprising whether wholly or partly pedestrians, vehicles, however propelled or drawn, bicycles, however propelled, except a march or procession by police officers, members of the defense force,
and I'm saying to you,
part
officer,
of a religious
I'm saying to you
Carnival,
that this law of the right to peaceful picketing.
You read that and you interpret that to mean what we're doing is a public march.
Mr. Roger,
you're wrong.
That. You are stronger than me.
You are, no, you know, here's what I'm telling you. You are, what level in the police service? Assistant superintendent. You read that and you interpret that.
Wrong.
And what we're doing to be a public march?
A public march.
Well, we are in a serious situation. Yeah, we are in serious difficulty. If you, as assistant, no, if you, Mr.
Bertie,
sir, read that and you interpret what we are doing to be a public march, then the police service in serious jeopardy.
I just read to you, and I want you to.
You know what I want to tell you? But here what then? I know that last week I didn't take no calls, so this week I have to take calls. But before I take calls now, I simply let me know when you're ready with the documents I just sent to you. Right? Let me know when you're ready with it, please. Ready? Good, right. Could you show the receipt, please? Right? This is a receipt from my company. And I paid how much as him? And this is an invitation package. It's an invitation package, right? How much did I pay? $5,000. And by the way, a government agency does not accept check. They don't accept Visa. They don't accept MasterCard. It was only cash, right? That is point number one, that this is a government entity and they only accept cash. Question mark number one. Let me go again. The next page. And what did I pay for? I paid for an invitation to become a certified and approved private automotive service provider to repair and maintain the TTPS fleet. Now, here what happened. Let me explain to you about this now. My company since 2013, we did not get any favors, and I need to correct Bucky and them. You know, Super Teeth and them? I need to correct Bucky. Bucky and them believe that was given to me by Gary Griffith or government. That was never given to me by the government or by anybody else, Bucky. Right? And what Mr. can tell you, you know when you had children around and you learn to educate yourself and the lack of children and does kind of bring that around. Anyway, here what happening now. Since that time, our garage was assessed as well as 12 other garages, and we got work with the service based on our facilities and the service sending vehicles for us to test repair, and we passed those tests. It wasn't no curry favor. So for the dotish people who ugly and stupid at the same time, this is the educator, you know. Right? So here we go again. That is number one. Number two, when a police vehicle needed repairs, If it could drive to us, it would come to us. And what happens is that we will do a quote, and the police service head office, it would go to them, and they would approve the quote, or they would question and say, here happening, we have a problem with that quote. That quote is too high. Look, we getting the engine cheaper there. And they will deny that quote, or they will approve the quote. And there are cases where they have said, look, we could get the engine a little cheaper from somebody else hard lucky and get it. And that is what would happen. And if your prices were approved, they would approve it and tell you proceed with the repairs. Good. And that was an easy procedure. Easy procedure. But here was the problem. People like myself and others, large sums of money outside, still owing, cannot even start back our businesses because of the amount of money owing. And now all of a sudden, without notifying us, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service decided that they're going to go through VEMCOT. And VEMCOT now, here's the plan. VEMCOT now, you have to pay 5,000. VEMCOT will approve, or whoever in VEMCOT will approve now and say, well, here happen. You qualify, you are now a repair facility. You have to go through VEMCOT now. So instead of something charging 1,000, you charging 1,000 for now direct to the service, VEMCOT now is going to put a markup and bill the police service. So here what's happening. VEMCOT was the same place, and I'm telling you facts here. We went to see a vehicle in VEMCOT. When we arrived in VEMCOT, the front door glass was missing, the tailgate was damaged. When we opened it up, 2 coil packs were gone. We put in a quote. 2 weeks later, they told us that the quote was approved, make arrangements to collect the vehicle by VEMCOT. When we went by VEMCOT, we do so, we open the engine, compressor gone, alternator gone, part of the instrument panel in front gone, the back tailgate glass gone. Excuse me, who in charge here? Yeah, what's going on? What is all this? Boy, I don't know where I'm going, you know. Thousands of dollars stolen right under VEMCOT's nose. Literally thousands of dollars. And we could give many examples. Many examples. And these are the same people all you're going to put back police service in their hands. But not only that, what VEMCOT is going to do is create a parts mafia where we could have brought in the parts ourselves and saved the police money. But what is going to happen now is that you're going to have preferred parts suppliers. So here what's happening. I have spoken to an attorney, a senior counsel, and what we are doing is this week, we are proceeding to take legal action against VEMCOT and the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. Because let me tell you something. Number one, you cannot come just so and say you're doing this without notifying us. And as of today, by me saying this on record now, you have not notified us, the police service. That's number one. Number two, we have been denied payments. The majority of payments. How the hell could we start back business? It's all your fault. We have not been able to get payments. So here what's happening. We are expected to go back and bid, fill out forms, be part of a process, and cannot function because we don't have no money. And that is fair? No. Here what's happening. I put in my money where my mouth is. Watch what's going to happen in the next few days. Injunction, and it's pressure down the line because all you know, I ain't taking that because here what happening now, man. You see this kind of unfair dotishness that this government want to try. You see this set of skull all you want to come up with. I going to put a stop to it. I am going to put a stop to it. And I will show you how I just rule. Because enough is enough. Enough is enough. Something, we right now in guava season, you telling me that something that used to cost 1,000, we're going to make it cost 2,000 and give it back to a set of incompetent people who failed miserably in the past? All you had to be mad. Nah, here what happening. Get ready. The courts of Trinidad and Tobago ready for a little action. And all you know me, I don't back down when it comes to the courts. I love it. And here what happened, like I tell you, 5 cases against the police service. Every single case won. And I showed what rats they are and what crooks and what skullmen they were. And here what happened. This one, I ready again. Let we go. Let we go. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. And here what happened. I'm a people in Vemcott, eh? I have my people in Vemcott, so you know we're going to go on there, right? Again, thing, inside, out, sideways, all kind of thing. So anyway, let's open back our phone lines. Oh yeah. Could you play that video while we are organizing to take calls? That video with the family pleading. Imagine the family when Paria announced that they have to flush the line. Imagine the family have to plead to don't flush them. Take a look.
We told them that the divers are willing to go down and still take them out one by one. Please do not flush them out. They will come out in pieces. We are pleading to them. We are begging them. They're not listening. I understand already set up last night and some workers had left the job site because they don't want to face this because they call themselves brothers and the brothers are down there and they couldn't take it, and I understand they walk out. So I don't know what to say again. So our last hope, if they could please stop that and go through with what they had on plan A, to let the divers go and take them down one by one, to please us, to have some, so we can have some closure, something, give us that, we beg you, give us that. We don't want your plan B before you try to do the plan.
Right, so here what happened now. Somebody asked a question here and I myself would like to know. Where Black Lives Matters? Where Black Lives Matters is? Or is it that some of these people who dead not black enough? Ask him for a friend. Right? Because I consider myself black. And if I am not black, believe me, something wrong with all the television set because I am dark black. So where is Black Lives Matters? How come they didn't come down there and was quarreling and protesting and saying, here what's happening? Or they didn't come with placards, I cannot breathe. I cannot breathe. Right? How come you didn't see them? Oh, sorry. The majority of the people were probably the wrong people. Well, I got to tell you. That is life. That is life. And I know some of you hate the truth, but what I got to tell you. Hard luck. Asim, I just sent you a video, right? We'll start to take some calls and then we'll deal with that. Right. I just sent you a, all right. Hold that for now and we'll see how that's going. I now sent you a video. And this one I dedicate to our good friend Terrence Yasin. Because, you know, poor Terry, always making a mess of himself. So what happened is that I just want to congratulate him. You know, I really want to congratulate Terry for making sure that he continues to do that. Let me know when we have that already, Asim. Right, so let me see. Caller, just give me 1 second, please, and I'll be with you shortly. Let me just hit that first before we officially start to take calls on the line. All right, and let me see if my timing is correct. In 3 seconds, that's about, all right. Okay, when you call in, turn down the volume. Right, go ahead. Play that clip for me, please. Play.
And I am only grateful that Minister Nyan Gatsby Dolly is the Minister of Health in these trying times.
I'll repeat that for a minute. And remember, callers, when you call in, turn down the volume on your television, please.
And I am only grateful that Minister Nyan Gatsby Dolly is the Minister of Health in these trying times.
You know, right. Now, someone just sent some pictures with people sit down by the Paria manager's home. I will support Edward Moody. I will support others. But there's one man that I will not support because his ideologies is completely different from mine. I realize that he is about publicity. We're not talking about Philip here. We're talking about our next man. Omar now. Right? Because of him being featured in National Geographic and all that thing with all kind of drama, I am not going to support that at all at the end of the day. And you know what is interesting? I make a statement and Bucky say what? That I am intimidating what? The statement is intimidatory, but it have people going to people's house and she is saying nothing. Well, if that is not intimidatory, I don't know what is. But I have no problems. All you go and stand by the house, we'll let get them talk. Let's go to our lines. Hello.
Inshallah, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
My condolences to the family of those 4 deceased hard-working gentlemen. And I want to wish the person who was saved, I want to wish him
speedy recovery.
Speedy recovery. Do you trust any investigation by any local people that any justice will be served in this matter? I want to remind you of a situation that took place in 1985 where at Carnival 14 or 17 people died.
15,
all right. And nothing came, nobody was held accountable. Now, I want to move to another point. I will listen to you afterwards. This situation with Vemcot and the government and the police service and you and other repair garage and all that, you think if these, when you put them in court, you think if these people had to pay out of their pocket, government officials that is, you feel that they'll be operating in this kind of way? Because to be honest, I believe they don't care. That they lose is taxpayers' money going to have to be paying all the costs and all the charges that they are responsible for, which is another injustice again. And the world is built on injustice. I want to shift a little bit to something far away. This situation with Russia and Ukraine and thing. I'm calling America a bully because they are afraid of Russia. They will go into Muslim countries where people can't defend themselves. Tony Blair said the biggest mistake of his career was going in Iraq with the U.S. and the other G8 or G7 countries in search of weapons of mass destruction that never existed. They use another excuse. No, I am not taking the side of Saddam Hussein. I'm not defending him. Right. But the reason that they went in for was a lie. But America is afraid of Russia. That's why it's not intervening. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Guys, there were 2 videos I sent you in relation to a child being struck and another video. Do you have that, please? Right? Play the first one for me, please. Israel has been killing Muslims on a daily basis. On a daily basis. Firing upon Muslims on a daily basis. Taking away land from Muslims on a daily basis. Bombing Muslims on a daily basis. And people don't care about this. The world doesn't care about this. The world don't see a problem with this. And I don't understand for the life of me why all of a sudden now people bawling, oh God, look what happened to this one and that one. We shouldn't only be concerned with what is taking place in Ukraine, but what should be taking place all over the world.
So you're coming to Poland, you're not coming to Kiev.
The idiots we have in government talking about putting sanctions on Russia, but yet it is we have the same people who killing innocent children, which is the Israelis, and we are buying weaponry from them and technology. So it is okay to take, to give them contracts, even though they are innocent, they are killing innocent children and innocent women. The world that we live in is a mad world. Is a mad world. Let's go again. Guys. Lines.
So you're coming to Poland. You're not coming to Kiev, Prime Minister. You're not coming to Lviv because you are afraid. Because NATO is not willing to defend because NATO is afraid of World War III, but it is already started. And these are Ukrainian children who are there taking the hit. You're talking about more sanctions, Prime Minister, but Roman Abramovich is not sanctioned. He's in London.
See, they're talking about sanctions. This is a country where they take over 90% of the land in Palestine. You can't even, if you ask Alexa, where is the weather in Palestine? Palestine don't exist, and people don't care. But like I tell you, this is the life we live. This is the life we live where we turn a blind eye on certain things and every other thing because it's popular. We want to mention it and we want to put up Ukraine flag. Mess we with you know what. Let's go again. Let's go to our lines. Hello.
Hi, good night. In general, what you're saying with Israel and Palestine, I've been saying that since last week. With the divers in the tank, could it be when they was hearing the knocking? Could it have been the tank they was using, the oxygen tank?
Could have been.
Yes. And what happened to us in Trinidad and Tobago, we tend to complain and comply. And I'm very sorry that we don't have Sharia laws in Trinidad and Tobago. So those murderers on the board of Paria, if they could have been stoned to death. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's go again. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, John, good night.
Good night.
Concerning this committee where Stuart Young want to hold concerning the divers and the insurance. Now, let me be real here. They set up a committee to investigate.
Hello? Hello? Okay. Caller, we lost you. Sorry about that. And I understand what you're saying because the government sets up a committee to investigate, investigating himself. Members of the union, FITAN, OWTU, etc., in fact, even the people who are not involved in the oil industry and gas industry must be represented on that committee. Not only that, you must have 2 family members on that committee too as well, and international representatives, because all you know where that is going to go. Let's go again. Hello? Hello?
Hello, good night.
Good night.
Yeah, Inchan, good night. Concerning the sanctions on Russia, Inchan, you don't think that Russia done prepare for all them sanctions already? Them sit down and done draw out all the cards on that table already, right? So whatever them do, Russia done plan for that already. But enough for them. Listen, concerning the 4 divers, Inchan, I understand everything you say, and like usual, you make a real sense. And you see this committee where Stuart Young, this coward who didn't want to send the divers down to take all the people from the pipe the same day they get trapped in the pipe. Listen, you see this committee or there's only want to come and hold and people that stand money to come and talk rubbish, PNM people. We fed up at that, boy. I fed up at that because you're coming and hold a committee now to investigate the healthcare system. You're going and investigate Gary. Anything come out of it? Nothing will come out of it because it's making no sense unless you have the right people on the panel. You understand what I'm saying, James? It's making no sense.
No.
So who are they trying to come and fool?
Right.
And I just want to say something, Inchan. I just want to say thanks to you and Philip Alexander and all the activists who, even around the country, who does help the people, the grassroots people of this country when they have problems, Inchan. So people don't take them on. And here is one more thing. Them police like they're out paying us, so you better watch it.
Yeah, I know that. I ain't worried. One is that I don't have a hair happening. Believe me, I'm not afraid of them, and they realize that. All right, and one of the things I want to remind people, because one is that I was hardly hearing the other caller, and what happened is that if you had said that Paria or whoever is murderers, we cannot say that. I just want to make it clear. Until all the facts are out, then we could point fingers to who is responsible. But we cannot say that this one is a murderer or that one is a murderer or this one, we cannot say that. So let us get that fact straight, because one of the things that we need to do is make sure that when we broadcast the facts. All right? So remember, let's go to our lines again, please. Hello.
Assalamu alaikum, Brother Imran. I'm Ismail.
Wa alaikum salam.
Inchan, I really love your show tonight, and I want to commend you. And I saw the passion in you. It's really hurting, and this country is hurting presently. We have a lot of hurt in this country for them fellas and them I'm glad when you highlighted the organization and people who didn't show anything. I'm a Hindu, and I totally, Monday night, Hindus waking whole night, but nobody came down there to offer support to these people. And I'm glad when you talk about pundits, imams, whoever, all these NGOs. I think you need to be more forceful with them. Not one of them lift or raise a voice or say anything on the media concerning this thing at all. And probably you're the only one who raising it in this manner. And I want to commend you and a great job.
Did you hear anything from the chambers, from downtown owner, from Gregory Abood and all them fellas?
When the girl, Nicole Moses get killed, they was down there.
Yeah, but I didn't hear anything in regards to this from
nothing
Doma and Doma.
at all. I want to even go as far as my organization, Sanatan Dharma Mahasabha. I don't hear them say nothing concerning that. Swaha, the Satanan Maharaj, Pandit Dongde in Arangwed. I hear none of them come or call or say nothing about this thing. And I work in the industry down there, and I know what it is. And in Shan, I can't sleep thinking about that, boy. I can't sleep. I tell you, I cannot sleep. It's terrible. The country in a darkness.
Correct.
And I don't know what to do for we to come out of this.
Well said, my brother. Well said.
Thanks so much, Inchan. Thanks
well
again.
said.
God bless
well
you.
said, my brother. And you know, this is what I always tell people. You know, when this station started, our goal was to help everyone. You know, and this is what we have done. There's not, and in fact, I had promised Mahindra Rambali to drop off his funds for him Sunday and Monday, but this thing happens. So God willing, by tomorrow, Panditji, I humbly apologize, but just time is not on my side, right? We are supposed to be our brother's keeper. And boy, as I always tell people, tomorrow we don't know what will happen to us. And this is a horrific death based on the faces that I saw. Based on the faces and the pictures that I saw, those fellas had a horrific death. Right? And for 4 people to have died, did the president of this country say anything? It is amazing that the head of state in your country does nothing. Absolutely nothing. You know, I don't like to play politics, but I must commend the UNC, all their councillors from Couva, Tabaki, that region. They were there and they were there every day. And for me, I always say, yeah, what, give Jack the jacket. Unlike Khadija, we have a real pothole in this area here and she does nothing, but the people vote for her, so good for them. Let's go. Hello. We'll take 2 final calls. Hello.
Yes, good night, Inchan. Just want to commend you on the wonderful job you are doing. This is a really sad time for the loss of the lives of the divers.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but I would really like to see an independent investigation taken place on this whole thing, and that I was hearing that they want a local person to chair this committee, but I would really like to see independent person that take charge of this investigation.
Not in hell. I agree with that.
One more thing I will have to say is that since the closing of the Petrotrin, as a past employee of the Petrotrin, something like this was just a matter of time. Because I have friends still working there, and the conditions these guys are working on, when they do complain, they are victimized, right? And taking advantage of them, knowing that jobs are hard to get now.
Yes.
And if they say anything further, they will lose a job. That's one. Also, we have a shift system running there. And I guess shift workers will know what I'm speaking about. And when a guy in the night stays home, right, the guy who is off supposed to come out and make a double and pay the rates accordingly. You know what they are doing? Because they know guys are home and not working, they're calling those guys to say, hey, come and make a day work. And that is very unfair. So I really hope that something is being done in this whole situation.
Well said.
It's really, really sad. As a worker, Monday morning, I didn't even feel to get up and leave my bed to go to work. Yeah.
Thank you very much, caller. And you know, when we took the yacht to go out to sea, we went home by one of the divers, and we saw his wife and his little baby. And I will even tell you this. I received a call from one of the divers, he and his, former wife, but he was taking care of her. He was in the process of building a house for her to make sure that she and the child was comfortable, even though they were separated. And she was bawling and screaming on the phone, crying. She called me and, you know, we were talking, and when you hear about the position that she's in now, that is a story by itself. Anyway, let's go to our final call. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, go ahead, please. Hello?
Hello, John?
Yes?
Who cares about anything in this country? When the fishermen...
Yes, I remember
the fishermen
well.
and them was... They get killed like dogs in the sea. Who went and paid them a visit? Anybody? Nobody. But when people encourage people to vote for a government like this, they'll embarrass it now. So,
Continue.
well, you pay a price.
No, but you see, let me explain something to you. And one is that I love when people like you call with misinformation. Do you know that in the last 2 elections, I did not vote? I'm not hearing you. You understand? And this is why fellas like them, nothing in their life will look good. These same fellas who just call and talk, they churn disappointed in them, because at the end of the day, they find solace in rum. Let's deal with this last slide with Fitz. Imagine this is your Minister of National Security. The noisy, bacchanal-loving, unpatriotic and corrupt UNC are calling for an investigation into the 2 recent horrific and unfortunate events of the home invasion and the accident at Paria, both of which sadly claim lives. Doesn't the scandalous UNC know that in matters of this nature, full investigations follow naturally? Yeah, and what is the outcome? Heinz ketchup? Like they follow taxpayers' money and police follow crooks and thieves. Well, the government in power, plenty people familiar with that. Thorough investigations are underway. Then what is their point? It is to make themselves pesky and relevant. It is to make themselves unnecessary noise and scandal. You know, and like I say, thank God, Rowley gave this man a 10 days, boy. Thank God they give him a 10 days, you know, because quite frankly, the worst minister of everything we have had in this country. Worst, and the worst minister of national security. And Rowley had to be an idiot to put him there. But what I'm going to tell you, that is nothing to doubt. All right, so this is where we have to end it off, folks. Let me just remind you, for those of you who have not booked us yet, book now, please, because I don't want all you calling me one day before the event and telling me that all you need space. Remember, this is not only open to the Muslim community, it's open to all and sundry. Once your products are no pork product sending, you're good to go. No alcohol product sending. This is a big event. Remember, we host some of the largest events within the community within this period. Massive parking. The tent area, we have to reduce the amount of tents because of the restricted area now, because we have a car wash here now. But again, guys, put that back up one more time. WhatsApp me and let me know if you are interested, or you could WhatsApp Asim and book now before you lose your space. All right, so this is where we have to end it off. This is where I have to disappear because I have 10,000 things to do. I look forward to seeing you down at Baraka Grounds this weekend. Remember, you could come down there and relax with the family and dine outdoors. You could relax yourself, chill out with the family. And of course, be safe. Parking for 500 cars. Take care. God bless you. And of course, For those of you within the family members who are watching us right now, keep me in touch. That's my number there. My number was just on the screen. Guys, pop it back up. Right. You can contact me and let me know funeral arrangements for the divers, please. And I don't think they have found Mr. Nagisa body because I haven't gotten a text to that effect. Very good. Excellent. Okay, let me see. I'm just looking at something here now. Okay. I'm looking at something here. Okay, I'll check to see if this is factual. All right. So this is where I have to head off, my friends. Take care. Be safe. And God willing, we'll be back again next week, Wednesday, for Breaking Barriers. All the best. Take care. Assalamu alaikum and good evening.